Hey y'all, so today I'm going to be giving you guys my foundation routine for a combination to dry skin. If you want to see how I achieve this look, stay tuned. So the key to not having dry skin, of course, is to moisturize. So before you start with any type of primer or anything like that, you need to make sure that you are moisturizing with a good moisturizer. I use Pond's and a Mario Badescu moisturizer, so I'm going to show you guys that. This is just the Pond's that I use, and then I use the Mario Badescu Hydro Moisturizer with vitamin C. I just have a sample size. The oil I'm going to be using is the Josie Marin Argan Oil. This is supposed to be 100% argan oil, and it's a facial oil. You can get them anywhere basically. The next step is going to be primer, and I'm going to be using two primers since I have combination to dry skin. The first primer I'm going to use is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, and I use this primer basically in my T-zone where I'm oily year round, so that would be my nose and then this little area around it, and then right here in the middle of my forehead, the top of my mouth, and then like my chin area as well. And for the rest of my face, I'm going to be using this primer by The Ordinary. This is their high spreadability fluid primer. Yeah, it's basically like not a mattifying primer, just a primer that gives you a really smooth base. So I'm going to use that for the rest of my face. Now I'm going to use my primer by The Ordinary. So for my next step, I got this from Jackie Aina. So in my really oily areas, I'm going to set that with a powder before I put my foundation on. And to do this, you're going to use a beauty sponge. And the sponge I'm going to be using is from Real Techniques. So and this is the very last step before I put on my foundation. You can use MAC Fix Plus, you can use the Mario Badescu facial spray, any type of facial spray sprayed on your face before you put your foundation on. This is like the last layer of moisturizer that you will get before you put your foundation on, and it's really important because you just don't want dry patches. Like it's winter, your skin is already dry, so adding that last level of moisturizer would just help out a lot. So I'm just going to be using a sample of the Smashbox primer water. Since I have it, why not use it? And then we're going to start the face. Now the foundations that I'm going to be using are from L'Oreal True Match. I'm going to be using these two foundations. Basically I have C8 and N8. One is a cool and one is a neutral. This one is the neutral and this one is the cool. And I'm just going to mix them together. Right now, since it is winter, the best thing to blend out your foundation is going to be with a sponge, because the sponge already has water in it. So when you're blending it out, it's not really like it's adding moisture to your face while it's blending out your makeup. So I'm going to use my same sponge again and blend my foundation in. So before I set my foundation, I'm just going to let it dry down. And while I'm letting it dry down, I'm going to go and do my concealer. So for concealer, you want to use a concealer that is not drying. You want to use one that has plenty of moisture in it, of course. So just choose any one you want to choose. I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and then my LA Girl Pro Conceal as well. Instead of using a sponge, I'm going to be using a brush to set my under eye concealer. And to set my under eye concealer, I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and then I'm going to be using my Beauty Bakery yellow setting powder. Unfortunately, my camera cut off. The only thing that you guys missed was me setting my under eye with the brush instead of a sponge. And I've just been setting the rest of my face with the Beauty Bakery flower powder and brown, and I will show you guys that. So this is what it looks like. And basically what I was saying is that for the rest of my face, I'm not necessarily dry, so I can go ahead and set it down with any type of powder that I want. And I'm going to powder contour instead of cream contour or using a concealer or anything like that, because I'm not dry in that area. But if you do have dry skin in that area, I do suggest that you use like a cream stick or something like that and not a powder, because that's just going to add to your problems. To contour, I'm just going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. And this is in Tan to Deep. So here's the finished look after I put on all of my makeup. If you guys enjoyed this foundation routine, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you follow me on Instagram, and I will talk to y'all later.